Welcome back, everybody. Today is Wednesday, May 8th, 2025. Born on this date in 1916, writer Walker Percy of Birmingham. Today is National Hamburger Day. Now, is that the most American dish, you reckon? Or at least the most iconic American dish? I usually think of fried chicken first, but that's probably a regional bias. Anyway, y'all know what to do. Today on the podcast, we have politics, surprise weather, and another gator tale. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama.
The Coca-Cola Company and its system of independent bottlers is an American story, contributing $59 billion to the American economy by sourcing many of its ingredients and packaging materials right here within the United States. It has also supported 860,000 American jobs and invested $128 million in community empowerment programs across the country. Locally bottled, nationally loved. Learn more at Coke.com/US Impact.
U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville made his bid for governor official Tuesday, reports AL.com's Mike Kaysen. Tuberville is expected to be an overwhelming favorite after reclaiming his Senate seat for the Republicans in 2018 and building a legacy as one of the most loyal Donald Trump allies over that time. During Tuesday's announcement, he said he'll still be working as a senator the next year and a half to work on Trump's agenda, starting with giving the Trump-backed spending measure known as the Big Beautiful Bill final passage. And what about when the focus turns to Alabama? Said Tuberville, quote, "Meantime, I'll be running every weekend, doing things I need to do to make sure that I can get over the threshold and win this governor's race, come back to Alabama, and work with President Trump." See, in politics, you stick with what works. Tuberville also promised to bring more manufacturing to Alabama and to stop illegal immigration. The issue of Tuberville's residency doesn't seem to be going away just yet. Tuberville's announcement and the stepping aside of previously presumed candidate for governor Will Ainsworth seem to point toward Republican support for Tuberville's candidacy. The Democrats, however, almost immediately said they'd see him in court. Alabama Democratic Party Chairman Randy Kelly issued a statement claiming that Tuberville's primary residence is in Florida. Tuberville's connection to Alabama is an Auburn house that his wife and son bought in 2017, and now that he claims a homestead exemption on. It's valued at $271,000, while Tuberville owns a pair of beach homes in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, with at least one valued at $5 million. Now, the state constitution says the governor, on the date of his or her election, must have been an Alabama resident for at least 7 years. Tuberville has been registered to vote in Alabama since March 2019. Now, that doesn't mean he didn't live here before then. Argued Kelly, quote, "Claiming his son's house as a homestead exemption while all travel receipts, voting, and living take place in Florida simply doesn't cut it," end quote. Alabama Public Service Commission President Twinkle Cavanaugh is leaving the PSC for a job in the Trump administration, reports AL.com's Margaret Cates. The PSC exists to regulate utilities in Alabama. Cavanaugh's next job will be with the U.S. Department of Agriculture as the state director for rural development in Alabama. Governor Kay Ivey will appoint her replacement on the PSC. Well, there wasn't supposed to be severe weather in North Alabama on Tuesday, but sometimes the weather doesn't seem to care what it's supposed to do. There were at least a couple of possible tornadoes Tuesday evening, including a probable twister that caused some damage on Redstone Arsenal. Stormy weather is expected to continue in parts of Alabama through the work week. And for today's Alligators in Alabama segment, we're featuring an 8-foot gator who died in a traffic collision. Believe me, it can happen. AL.com's William Thornton reports that a driver struck the gator around 3:20 a.m. Monday in the Wa area of Montgomery County. According to authorities, the driver had minor injuries and the vehicle had to be towed. Just last week, we shared another story of another gator in Huntsville that was euthanized after exhibiting abnormal behavior around people. Now, a smart journalist never makes himself part of the story, so I guess it's okay if I do. I just feel like, having shared that story, I need to disclose that I, too, have struck a gator with my truck on a dark road late one night after putting the newspaper to bed. Now, he was probably around 6 or 7 feet long. I don't think I was speeding. That's just an honest statement. I was stone cold sober, by the way, although I suspect the gator was on drugs. I don't know if he moved out in front of me or was just well camouflaged on the dark road. So while I feel like I was doing everything right, here's a lesson. I think you cannot be too focused on the road. So phone down, 2 eyes on the pavement, and watch out for strung out junkie gators. Thanks, everybody, for listening to us. We're going to be back here in the morning. Until then, y'all come by anytime you want to. See what we're up to on the internet at al.com.